Okay, video number 3, class policies. This is always the most exciting. So just to kind of review, I will have office hours both at the Fredericksburg and Stafford campus. I am in Fredericksburg on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, and I am in Stafford on Tuesday evenings. I am also available to you by appointment. You just have to let me know. The other option that we are going to have for communication is through the chat on Canvas. So every week I will send you an email letting you know when I am going to be available through chat. If you go to Canvas and you look at the left side, you'll see that there is a chat button. And so if you are going to log in at the same times I am in, we'll be able to have a conversation there. So if you want to plan to do your work that week, at the same time I'm going to be on chat, or you know you're going to have questions, you can always come there. It's going to change week by week, and here's why. I want to try to give as many options as possible for days of the week and times of the week, and I don't want to do it the same every week because I know some people will be working or in class, and then they're always going to miss the chat sessions. So I'm going to kind of try to do a week-by-week variation, if you will. But I also need to be considerate of my own calendar because I'll have meetings, I have interns to observe, and if it's on the weekend, I also have things going on in my own life that I'm not going to be able to avoid or miss, nor do I want to. So you'll see that there's going to be a chat week by week, and I'll let you know when that's going to happen. Again, the other best way to contact me is through email. If you send me an email, I can get back to you fairly quickly. So send me an email to get a quick response. Phone is probably the worst way to get in touch with me. I'm just going to be honest. So again, those are the different ways to contact me and to have questions answered or issues addressed. So let's go ahead and take a look at the class policies and procedures section. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the technology. It is imperative with this course that you have access to both your email and to Canvas on a regular and daily basis. If you are having problems, you need to call the help desk and get that fixed right away. Everything that we are doing hinges on the computer and technology and having that access. So please, 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 not only make sure it's working, but make sure you're checking in regularly. Like I said, I'm not going to throw you a curveball at the very last minute for an assignment, but I do need to know that you're regularly checking your accounts and that you're active. So please do that. For some of your assignments, you may need to engage in other sources of technology, so if you're not familiar with those, you can ask me about them, or you can do a little bit of research and dig in. Our library services can also help you with those types of issues, as well as the Speaking and Writing Center. So going down past the technology components is late work. So let's talk about late work for just a second. There is no late work. I'm sorry. Everything is due on the date that is indicated on the syllabus. I work really hard to make sure that everything is laid out in Canvas for you and everything is on the syllabus, so you have plenty of notice that things are coming. The other thing that you will see that I do is week by week I remind you, hey, in 3 weeks, this is due. Hey, in 2 weeks, this is due. In a week, this is due. So I constantly remind you, and I've set you up so that you know what your expectations are. Because of that, and because that submitting things late ends up becoming a big problem down the road as I'm trying to grade and get things in and then stay on top of my own workload, no late assignments are due. And as a matter of fact, when the due date arrives, when the due time arrives, 11:59, at 12 o'clock, I think I mentioned this before, those folders actually disappear. They're gone. So there's nowhere to even submit it late. If there is some sort of emergency, and by emergency I mean major emergency, happened at the last minute, something you cannot absolutely control, you need to be in touch with me as soon as possible. Or let's say that something's happening, you know you're going to be traveling for a funeral, or your mother needs medical assistance and you have to help her. If you know these things are happening, let me know ahead of time. Don't wait until the assignment is overdue and ask for an extension, because it will not be granted. Please do not wait until an assignment is due and then ask for an extension. It will not be granted. Okay. If there is an emergency, if there's something going on, you do want an extension, you will have to complete a letter. And I will give you the template for that letter. And part of filling that out is also acknowledging through the honor code that what you're telling me is true and accurate. So that's late work. Moving on to lighter things. APA formatting. That's always fun. Everything should be in APA. Headings, page numbers, citations, references, all that good stuff. And when you submit your work, along with kind of the guidelines of APA, it should be 12-point font, 1-inch margins, Times New Roman, spacing should be at 1, and please submit your files in Word and not in a PDF, please. The expectation is that the spelling, the grammar, the organization is right where it should be. This is a graduate level course, so there is a certain level of there's a written expectation as well. So make sure all of that is included. In terms of academic integrity, you'll be using a lot of research. It is imperative that you cite your sources. If you are using 4 or more words in a row, 4 words in a row, you should be citing your source. If you are taking 4 words out of somebody else's text, journal, website, you should be citing that source. So 4 words in a row, it should be cited. I encourage you to summarize as opposed to directly quote. Tell me what they're saying. Direct quotes should be reserved for times when you cannot say it any other way than the original author said themselves. Typically, that's not the case. Summarize, summarize, summarize. Okay? So make sure that you're citing your sources. Class participation, again, we talked about that in the assignments, but it's really important that you are having those conversations within the discussion board or engaging with one another when it's time to participate. So that's how we're going to be looking at whether or not students are actually participating. Confidentiality, if you submit anything in this course that requires students' information, make sure that you change their names, take any identifying information out of there. I don't want to know any of that information. Class demeanor and expectations. There are expectations listed both for you and for me so that you know what I expect of you in terms of responsibility, and you know what to expect from me as well. So I expect that you are thoroughly preparing for class, that you're respectful of your peers when you're making comments in the discussion board, that you're using first-person language when we're talking about students with disabilities. We don't say autistic kids, we say students with autism, so person-first language. That you're prompt with meeting your deadlines and participating on the discussion board. That we're not getting into kind of the off-topic side conversations, which isn't as big of an issue on an online course. And you are letting me know when you don't understand something. So I need to know when the information isn't clear or you are having questions about the content. So let me know so I can help you, because otherwise I have no way of knowing whether or not the information is meaningful unless you tell me, if that makes sense. So I want the course to be engaging, and I want you to get what you need from this course, and it's a lot more challenging to do that when we're not face-to-face. So I need to rely on you to tell me those things. And I want you to tell me. I'm inviting you to tell me. So please, tell me, okay? I will also be respectful of you when you are submitting your work, giving you constructive feedback. the responses to the discussion board. I will be thoroughly prepared for each of our class sessions, and I will try to keep it very organized for you so that it's all laid out. I will also be using first-person language, and I will be returning your assignments in a timely manner. Just like you are submitting your assignments to me on time, I'm going to work to get your assignments back to you within a week. And if it takes more than a week because of whatever reason, I will also notify you. I will make sure that the content is timely and well researched so that it's up to date, so that you are getting the information that is most up to date in the field as well. And I'm going to offer you lots of opportunities to ask me questions. Please, I encourage it. Okay, so those are essentially kind of my policies. Beyond my own policies, please know that there's a couple other things I need you to understand. One is the honor code. I'm sure you're all well aware of that. Please sign everything that you turn in with the honor code. You can do that on Canvas where it says comments. You can add that in there, or you can just type it on the bottom of your paper. That is absolutely fine, but I do expect that you are making that statement with your work. Please know also that if you have a disability, you need to go through the Office of Disability Services to have them generate a letter for you to get to me, and please make sure that you do get that to me if that is the case. There is a writing center, as you know. Please utilize them if you need them. And one of the other things that we really don't have to worry about this semester, but you may need to for the other classes, is the emergency information as well as the closings for the university. Last but not least, please know that there may be changes to the syllabus along the way. I will let you know when that happens. I won't kind of do it and then surprise you. So again, that should cover all of the policies. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know. Thanks.